Hello and welcome to the first serious intro for Point and Laugh, a Commander show where my viewers send me their decks and I tell them whether their flavor tastes like anything, whether they are mechanically doing the thing or anything at all, and if they are not, what cards they can play to fix it. My advice will run the gamut from how to politic your deck, to how to pilot it, to what cards you need to add, to what type of strategies you should not be focusing on in the first place. Ricky. So if you see anything that I've missed, 1, you're a liar, and 2, leave it in the comments. But I appreciate every last one of you being here. So as a special treat for everybody who subscribes to this video, I will let my editor, Triple Mango Threat, watch 1 minute of the new Demon Slayer movie. If you want to get your deck on the show, we sell them on Ko-Fi at the beginning of every month and give them away at the beginning of every month on my stream. So make sure you are watching either on Twitch or YouTube. Thank you all and enjoy the video. Let us begin with Mixed Eclipse's deck. Oh my god. All right. Maldhound, help me. I have a Golgari tokens deck. I need more removal. It must be a permanent. There is exactly 1 card that counts as removal for this deck. Let me see if you already have it. Creatures, enchantments. No, the f you do not. Furries, wake up. You know what we're doing here. It's not a fur suit. It is a fur boot, and it is going up there. And put the paws on them. Enjoy the win. That's the deck. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's the deck. Removal. Remove the player. Remove the player. What the f are we talking about? So I ask people, hey, when you send me a deck, send me the types of stuff you want help on. Please send me, if you have any precious little babies, if you have like a favorite Pokemon that you don't want cut from your deck, let me know so that I'm not mean about it. You know what this person sent in as their precious little baby card? Grave Pact. They said, Maldhound, all I want for my birthday party is for my friends to have a bad time. I don't care what flavor the cake is, but there's gotta be a little bit of anthrax in there. Please, Maldhound, can you make sure there's anthrax in my birthday cake? Otherwise, I'll be a very, very sad princess. I am going to get up on my soapbox for a little bit because Mixed Eclipse also said, I'm aware that I'm powering, the gimmick in the deck is every card is a permanent. And they said, I'm aware it's probably powering down the deck. And I want to be the first to tell you, no the f it's not. People have been talking this bullshit for so long now, and power creep, here's the bright side of power creep. You can build a deck like that, and it's not weaker at fucking all. Like a little bit weaker, barely anything. Or we can absolutely do some stuff that does not require any instants or sorceries. Now, I do feel forced brother. Sorry, let me check these pronouns. Sister, what the f are we doing? Girl. Miss Girl, you said the gimmick of the deck was permanence. You did not tell me terrible permanence. You did not tell me terrible, no good, mill 1 permanence in Golgari! Your whole deck is swamp and you're telling me I went to the store to buy some mulch to sit on, brother, just shit. Sorry, sister, just shit. You have that within you. All right, that's enough aggressive clip farming, but I stand by all of these statements, by the way. If we're gonna do reshuffle your graveyard into your library, cowardly. You being on all permanents is not holding you back. Your knowledge of permanents in the game is holding you back a little bit. And so we can correct that and we can get a deck that does this gimmick and does it very well and makes you very happy. So let's do that. I do have 1 question. Can we compromise the gimmick a little bit? Like if it's really funny. Like if I was slowly typing in a card name that I thought was gonna make you really happy. Sure. Interesting. So let's talk about 1 sorcery that I would love for you to have in this deck. Let's talk about a sorcery that says, if you did something crazy, like had 98 other permanents in this deck list, you got them all. What if counting to 10 let you do whatever the fuck you want? Because anytime we go on like, hey, I would love to have a all creatures, all permanents, whatever deck, this is always the first. What if we had almost all creatures? What if we had almost all permanents and then I murdered you? Wouldn't that mill her completely? Yes, this would have to be built in such a way that one of the cards we put on the table lets us kill everybody. It's also May, yeah, you can stop whenever you want. This basically says like, do it as much as you want. Now ideally, we would have most people when they do this have stuff in the deck that is like Craterhoof Behemoth, such that Primal Surge deterministically finds something that wins the game. But you don't have to do that. Again, you can stop whenever you feel like. Or genuinely, if you just have, if you do Beastmaster Ascension, which should be in the deck, by the way, and you have like Concordant Crossroads, then you just swing out, No, JT, they enter like, I think you get all the ET, yeah, they do actually, fuck, they do. So there's a lot of ways we can build a deck where doing Primal Surge either won't kill us, will guarantee us the win, will be very silly. We don't have to worry about Primal Surge fucking us. It's very easy to make that deck do work. So I'd like to put that in your brain. Let me read. Okay, so these don't have Decayed. They just have Can't Block. So what I would love to do, and I'm gonna put you through the same makeover I put one of my decks through recently, is I would love if we were less on non-creature engines. Yeah, Millstone is crazy work. What I would love more of is if we had like every creature in the world that said ETB mill some guys. No, we're not doing this. No. We are not aristocrats. We are fungus. We were here when the world was born. I don't think that's technically true. We were here when the world was born. We will be there when it ends. We exist as an extant form of life. You cannot kill us in any way that matters. We do not ping. We beat people to death with a giant goddamn shiitake. Rather than things like Codex Shredder, Perpetual Timepiece, Millstone, these are all fiddly things that will mill you for a very small amount. What we want is, let me flop some creatures onto the board that will mill me for a moderate amount. And then I can sack them, I can reuse them. I get chump blockers, which is very, very important. Mindstone's crazy work, by the way. Don't think I missed that. Crazy work for a 3-mana commander. Insane work. Palantir, very genuine, very generically good card. Mazzolanti, very, very good card, and we can use the backside. Head Shredder, awesome. Conduit, awesome. Not gonna debate that. Hermit Druid, fucked up and good. Sakura Tribe Elder, fucked up and good. I hate that I'm about to recommend this. You need a waifu, and she's gotta be very dirty. I've hated on her every other deck I've seen her in, and your deck does want her very, very bad. It is this bitch. Where would Stank Boy be without his stank girl? And so if we get you on a lot of creatures that mill, this will let you reuse those. You get creatures that mill, and then I'm pretty sure I saw an Altar of Dementia in there. You go, oh, let me get a 1-drop that mills me for 3. Let me Altar of Dementia them. Let me get them back to my hand. And so she can come in here, do a lot of work. I don't think you need a Yara. You can sacrifice the fungi, right? Yeah, they're black. Okay. So we at least get card draw out of a Yara. The mana dorks are fine. Why in God's name do we not have Birds of Paradise, though? Canker Bloom's dope. Skull Prophet's fine. No. This is what becomes Beastmaster Ascension right here. This is immediately what we turn into Beastmaster Ascension. Who gives a fuck? This person spent $500 to put this deck in front of my eyeballs. These videos are almost entirely subsidized by my Patreon community, so a special thank you to Vanilla Bean Ice Cream, Eclectic Waste, Katya Marg, Christian B, Adam S, Solar Movie, Kyle, Chemical Pine, Alpha Dog 2064, Zelenor, Otterfire, Fun, Phelan, Believe, Torben T, Bobby Joe Lord, Bradley T, Bo, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. I appreciate every last one of you. Birds of Paradise, very useful. If you just don't fuck with birds, real, neither do I. But as mana dorks go, being able to get any color might matter for you at some point. So we make Saprolings. Sure, we're trying to turn Saprolings into card draw. That's a little bit cute. Sivarus is actually really good here with your fungi. I like this a lot. Potato Farmer has been mentioned. Acidic Slime has been mentioned. Grave Troll has been mentioned. Lord of Extinction has been mentioned. Right, Saprolings buff the commander, but if we get good mill, the commander is buff. This guy has trample. Like, the only number that matters here is counting to 21, and we can count to 21 easy as pie. I guess, why do we want this to be a ping deck when we can be so much better? Why don't we want people to just be punched very, very hard? Yeah, the Shuffle Titan also seems like we just need better ways to close the game out. Anytime I see a self-mill deck that is trying to reshuffle itself, I'm like, we need help. Because these people can just be dead. They can't just be in the fucking ground. Yeah, stowaways also on this like, ooh, what if I hit you with the little cute ping for 1? We gotta put the pause on them. I'm gonna bring it up again. The pause, sister. They must feel pain. They must feel pain and death. So let me look at how the deck's currently playing. All right, we got fucking Codex Shredder. Sure. What do I mill? Hell yeah, a card I don't give a shit about. All right, Commander, mill, type shit, I make a fungus. What I want us to compare and contrast is I have Codex Shredder, which will mill me for 4 one time, versus let's compare if it was a Town Greeter or a Satyr Wayfinder. Town Greeter's better, so I'm gonna pretend it was the better card. Then on turn 4, we mill 4 cards. Instead of doing this like little turn sideways, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And if we mill 4 cards and then we follow it up with like, ooh, I'm gonna Bale Merc too. Mill 4, I'm gonna get Haywire Might back. That's a good creature. Then on turn 4, we're now making 8 tokens. Now versus the 5 you get right now, the creatures that just mill in one fell swoop are gonna be much better for making the deck like pop and be explosive and fun versus this like everybody knows 4 turns out when you're gonna do the cool thing. The Cemetery Tampering is great for this deck. We've spent 2 mana this turn. I don't know, I put down Haywire Might. Matsatlanti, please give me a land. Okay, fucked up actually. I'm discarding Graveback. Fucked up actually. So the other problem that we can confront with cards like Summon Titan and cards like Aftermath Analyst is if we get land stuck, because you are a little bit low on lands, which is not the end of the world in a deck that has a 3-mana commander and a very, very low curve. I think we got caught between Riz and the EDH rec page for Golgari cards, which is how that Blood Artist got in there mixed. But I like this deck. I think it has potential. I think you will have a lot of fun with it after the changes I have recommended. So I hope you had a good time. Please make these changes. Let me know how it goes. If it doesn't make you happier, I would like to know so I can update my assumptions about what cards are cool and based. This is my deck list for stream. I think this is a bracket 2 silly/spooky deck that tries to get the most out of Volwrath's ability to combine being a 7/5 with text boxes that were never meant to go with these numbers. I tried to include enough ways to keep Volwrath around. Voltron is likely the main way of winning, though I think some other creatures can also get us there with a bit of luck. What I like the most about this deck is the many fun interactions between Volwrath and his copy targets. That being said, I've only goldfished this so far, so I might just be in love with the cute mechanics. That's why I'd love some feedback on whether you think it works overall and what changes you'd recommend. I'm open to all suggestions since I'll happily proxy anything over $1. Hell yeah. Mystic Reflection. Genuinely, in Commander, this is a good card. In Commander, straight up, you can put this in every blue deck and you will laugh. You might even win a game because of it, but you will laugh every single time that you play this card in a Commander deck because somebody is playing a Mana Dork. There is going to be some fuck-ass green player that you can take advantage of and you can turn somebody's Commander into Birds of Paradise. We don't even cut this, we keep this. We have Volwrath who puts -1/-1 counters on a creature, and for a colorless, he can become a copy of a creature that has a counter on it. I like these, but we'll cut if necessary. All right, so we're trying to Voltron Volwrath. So I guess, do we... Phil, I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be that guy and be like, why are you playing the bad card instead of the good card? But like, if what we like is I have a separate and safe way to give my commander +5/+5, I'm gonna direct you back to the fursuit. I'm gonna direct you back. Where my people at? You knew it? Then why isn't it in there? We don't even have to go wide. This is 507 or more. Yeah, we gotta go a little bit wide. Decoy Gambit is cute. So we can keep Ana Sanctuary. Genuinely, this is actually this is Beastmaster Ascension for your deck. So perfect. Leadership Vacuum is funny. I think we can keep all these. In Silly and Spooky, you get a lot of pet cards. These can be your pet cards. Attacks or blocks reveal cards from top till they hit a creature. Nascent becomes a copy of that. So this is where I might start killing your dreams. I think Metamorph and Doppelganger is where we're getting a little bit too deep. Spark Double is just a good card. Palladus Assassin is a cute card. Mirror Hall Mimic is cute if we have other good creatures. This is Cope. This is awesome. So the actual fursuit, the Dimir Doppelganger and the Nascent Metamorph, I think are a little bit too much. I think we want most of our copying to be contained within Volwrath. Draw. Okay. Okay, Selkie seems good. Selkie is a very, very good pairing. I was so proud. I was so proud that I wasn't going to have to recommend both star charts and stock up. And then, I mean, it's indestructible. I can almost see the vision. The only thing I dislike about Barb Servitor, and I think this applies to Selkie as well, is we have to get this card, we have to get a different way to put counters on them, and then we have to get Volwrath, because none of them can be hit with Volwrath's -1/-1 counter, because then they just die. You're in green, so it's not impossible to do that. But when I'm building, and this may just be a difference of opinion I have with wrong people. When wrong people build lower power commander decks, they try to build things that do nothing until they have 3 or 4 cards. When I am building a lower power commander deck, I am always trying to prioritize around, I want to have A plus B equals joy. Does not have to win the game, does not have to do something crazy. We can save the do something crazy for A plus B plus C, but for the stuff that is going to make me happy, I want that to happen in 1 card or 2 cards. Like, if these are the only ones in the deck that do that, whatever, that's fine. These are your couple pet cards. But if we are consistently going, I need this card, I need my commander, and then I need an unnamed 3rd card before the fun interaction happens, we should trim those down. Fuck no, dog. Fuck no, you can't play this, man. Get Tom Berry the fuck out of my face. I'm sorry, bro. I wanna love him, right? We can't be doing all this for first strike death touch. We're gonna have Voltron players pitying us. It comes with a counter that goes away. So this is for a card. We gotta kill this man. We gotta bring him back to the adoption center. He's going back to the shelter. I'm sorry. He's angry but slow. He, like me, FR. He is just a little guy, but we have just a huge guy. I'm sorry, Tonberry. You have to die. Evasion. Oh, the Dillosaurus is good here. I'm not totally sold on Haunted Cloak, especially if you're leaning Voltron, which is bad and wrong, but I will help you do bad and wrong things for money. If we're leaning Voltron, I am generally a bigger fan of Brotherhood Regalia. Like, we have this -1/-1 counter stuff going around, and so if we're worried about getting beaten to death, we can use the -1/-1 counters to politic. We can go like, hey Joel, if you swing at me next turn, all of your guys are getting dysentery. It's mainly for the vigilance. Why do we need vigilance? Trauma. Gets or gives counters. All right, Graft is clever, die. Biophagus is good. No. Hey, you did not lie. It does get or give a counter. No. I suppose to keep him as a blocker, but I like that less as I'm writing it. Exactly, Phil. This is like therapy. Sometimes these deck reviews are just about forcing you to defend your own choices, and in trying to defend them, you realize how wrong you are. Spelldance isn't unblockable, though. I think Voltron players overvalue unblockability. Like Brotherhood Regalia, I like it for Ward 2. Honestly, just looking at my deck in preparation, I cut like 10 cards. I'm sorry, Philip. I am not up on having many sources of unblockability. I think having 1 or 2 clutch sources of unblockability is very important for when you want to go for the kill. But if you're a Voltron deck that is not red and you are in colors that can grind value over the long game, you're probably better off not being unblockable and forcing people to give up their value creatures to block your commander. This is why I'm about to recommend a very important part of any Sultai game plan: busting on them. Busting on them crazy style. You don't actually have to run this, because your commander innately achieves the thing that I like Buster Sword for. You have a big 7/5 commander. People don't want to get hit by that. If you make your commander unblockable, the only thing they can do is kill your commander. That's very bad for you. If your commander is blockable, you can swing your big dumb idiot and tell them like, oh, well, you just have to give up a Llanowar elf. You can save your removal for this other creature that you can only deal with by shooting them in the chest with a gun. If you're going to have unblockable, it should be a secondary thing. I think most of what you want is, how do I make Volwrath unkillable? How do I make Volwrath big enough that people want to block him? And then how do I use people blocking Volwrath as a way to grind value better than my opponents can? So Spark Double can do that. Doomscar is perfect. This is exactly the type of thing you want to do. You get Volwrath a little bigger and you threaten a really good combat damage trigger that with trample they kind of have to take, but it's not this like permanent you're gonna die to Voltron commander damage. It's just like, oh well, if you just like throw some boys in front of it, we could work something out. This is the high fructose corn syrup in your deck. It's still good, unfortunately. This will get you shot in the street, but it is effective. This is cope. This is funny and works well, so I'll try to let you keep it. Fucked up and evil. Oh, you are stinky stinky. That's cute as hell. Free Strider's really good. Terminus of Return is very good. Yeah, it works. Alright, so we got a lot of ramp. We're trying to give some keywords for Volwrath to work with. No, sir. What's happening here? Did one playtest go really well and you were like, as a special reward to myself, I'm gonna put in this card that I pulled one time. The chimes are for using his ability. Oh, sure. I think that then in that case, let's also get you with, here, do this as well. And then that way there's a world in which you can hold up a counter spell or something. So yes, I now agree. I Vine Boom myself, but double dip and get this one as well. Okay, recursion reanimation. No. I think we are, this is weirdly fair for how okay you were at building a deck up until this point. I think we can make the recursion much less fair. Why are we returning to hand? Is this to buy time for our villain monologue? That is genuinely the only justification I can think of. We are extremely low on removal. This makes the vigilance part make so much more sense. Okay, so find and finality, it is just, we don't care about find, we care about finality. So this is a languish. Okay, that makes sense. I think you kill Phytotitan and Den Protector. Volwrath targets. Okay, this is where we can do a lot of our work. This is another, I still think we're way too big on unblockable. So dies. Maybe you can keep for transmute. Stop doing one. Dies. This is a very funny Volwrath interaction. And then that's a cute enough Volwrath interaction. I am a super non-believer in the 1 toughness creatures that I am keeping primarily for unblockability. That is the most like, it is, I need 3 cards to do this. So I have to learn how to ride a unicycle and juggle at the same time. And my payoff is not everlasting happiness. I do not make it into heaven because I am juggling on a unicycle. What do I get for juggling on a unicycle? I get to hit somebody for 7 one time. Now I do that 5 turns in a row. Perhaps I am happy. If we're gonna require 3 cards, the payoff has to be awesome. The payoff cannot be the floor of what I want the deck to do. And the floor of what I want the deck to do is I hit you with Volwrath. I would be looking for when deals damage in Sultai, and I want to look for toughness greater than or equal to 2. What can I play with just Volwrath where I'm going to be happy? I'm not going to cast that guy. Ooh, how do we feel about stealing? How do we feel about robbing? Dubious, I wouldn't even say trample. I would say more effects that motivate people to block. Oh, it's legendary? Does Volwrath not even keep his name? He has to be non-legendary? Wow, that's awful. That's awful. Hold on. Let's go back and filter out the legendaries. Let's talk about hard choices. Let's talk about forcing people into hard choices. Let's talk about how we don't need to say unblockable for nobody to block us. That's the type of shit I'm on, Phil. Like, if you're gonna get murdered with hammers, you should at least deserve it. This is a more fun way to make your commander unblockable than having to put counters on a innately unblockable creature. I think effectively, this still says my commander is unblockable. But this is like, you become a more interesting arch enemy. And notably, if they kill Volwrath, because they're like, fuck, I don't want this guy to be unblockable, so they shoot Volwrath. Now, you are left with a Phyrexian Obliterator instead of a worthless 1/1. These are the type of upgrades I'm thinking about. So this is, it will help you, it's a trolley problem. Moeman's got it. This is a very, very good trolley problem. And if they kill your commander, you still have a very good creature left over. You are never casting this guy. If we could cheat, oh God, if we could cheat at, I want to make you play this. If we could cheat the numbers, if we could cheat the mana numbers, that would be so good. This is the other type of shit I want you to be on. We want to give you ways for this game to go long and you to not be incredibly sad about it. You could Thief of Sanity, which Thief of Sanity is very bad. Thief of Sanity is much more theft theft focused than your deck is currently. And so if you don't love stealing and taking things, do not play this. If you love stealing and taking things, play it. Let me talk to you about dumb expensive shit. This would be one of the, I think you get very, very few expensive hits, but I do think you want a few. You're going to be ramping to 5 for your commander anyway. And so if 5 mana is already in the cards, 6 mana can be in the cards. We just can't put like 10 things at this mana value. So I'm going to put you up here near Eclipse. I don't think you have too many staples, but I think you fell into a few little traps in your Mind Palace. And I hope that we have corrected those, and I hope that you have had a good time. But that's going to be it for your roast today. Thank you very much for submitting. I do enjoy this deck very much.